Welcome back to the Lanterne Rouge YouTube channel and to highlights of La Flèche Wallonne women's edition 130-kilometer race starting and finishing in Huy. They do 2 laps of the Mur de Huy. The first time they do it, they crest it with about 30 kilometers to go. Then there's 2 further climbs of about 2 k's, 5 to 6%, and then they do the final climb, 1,300 meters at 9.5%, but the first 400 meters are not so steep. It features multiple sections with gradients over 20%. It's a nasty climb. And the contenders we have here, Marianne Vos in the Women's World Tour Leaders jersey, Niewiadoma, Elisa Longo Borghini, Ludwig, and a strong SD Works team with Anna van der Breggen, who's won this race 6 times in a row for Bulls and SD Works, etc. But on the weekend at Amstel Gold Race, she'd ridden as a helper for her SD Works teammates and got dropped with 35 k's to go, with SD Works seemingly riding off happy with that. So it's unclear whether SD Works would be riding for her or someone else, likely Demi Vollering, in this race. But let's get to today's race now. The live images started with about 40 kilometers to go. A breakaway of 3 riders were up the road. Shabby on Canyon SRAM, Lucinda Brand on Trek Segafredo, and Anna Henderson on Jumbo Visma. And this break was important, the composition of it, that is. All 3 of these riders in the break have big contenders for the win, and them being in the break meant that SD Works had to pace for a lot of today, chasing them as well as Movistar for some time as well. This is the first lap of the Mur de Huy. None of the contenders were dropped on this ascent. It didn't split the race apart too much. They're all here. You can see Ruth Winder in the American Stars and Stripes jersey, Anna van der Breggen, Van Vleuten, Ludwig, etc. And this break had about a 30-second lead with 30 k's to go after that Mur de Huy ascent. So nothing too crazy, they were keeping it in check. And yet on the third to last climb of the day, SD Works started pacing furiously, bringing back this breakaway with 22 kilometers remaining. And that seemed to create more problems than it solved for SD Works. That break would have needed a lot of time at the base of the Mur de Huy to win. So Trek opted smartly to use their depth in team strengths to attack with Ruth Winder before the second to last climb. And so that was a problem for SD Works, whose domestiques had already been working very hard up to this point of the race. On the second to last climb, and I'm sorry I don't have the images for you, Annemiek van Vleuten attacked, which split the race up completely, and so there was only one team with 2 riders in the group chasing Ruth Winder, and that was SD Works, who chose to put Demi Vollering on the front, or she opted to do it herself. She came 3rd last year when she was on Park Hotel Valkenburg, and she pushed Anna van der Breggen very close. She attacked her in the last 400 meters. They used her to chase down Ruth Winder in the last 10 kilometers, and that was a big indication, as well as Vollering having attacked earlier, that Anna van der Breggen was feeling good today, and perhaps at Amstel Gold Race they were just giving Vollering an opportunity. And at the base of the Mur de Huy, Ruth Winder's within 5 seconds. Van der Breggen begins her trademark acceleration from the base. I'll just let you know who's in this group in case you're not familiar with them. Van der Breggen, the World Champs jersey on the front, Amanda Spratt for Bike Exchange, Elisa Longo Borghini in the Italian National Champs jersey, and Ludwig in the FDJ colours. Further back is Annemiek van Vleuten in the European Champions jersey, as well as Kasia Niewiadoma for Canyon SRAM, Demi Vollering, she's about to pop because she's been doing so much work, Juliette Lebu for DSM, and Mavi Garcia just coming into shot. So going into the base of the Mur, if you're in a break, you need a big gap when the contenders are chasing you. And Anna van der Breggen brought back Ruth Winder before the really steep sections even started. And that already created some problems for some other contenders. You can see behind Kasia Niewiadoma having to move up wheels. Annemiek van Vleuten was already struggling with this initial pace of Anna van der Breggen, so Kasia Niewiadoma is having to move up on the right-hand side. I know it's a small thing, but if you want to beat someone who's won this race 6 times in a row and has the confidence to lead it out from the bottom, as Kasia Niewiadoma has to move up again, up past Ludwig, who was losing the wheel, then you can't make any mistakes. So I'd even be interested to see the data to see if Niewiadoma in fact did this climb at almost exactly the same time as Anna van der Breggen, who was putting Longo Borghini under pressure in the Italian National Champs jersey, losing the wheel just slightly. And it seems that van der Breggen just wants to ride her own pace as smooth as possible and just leave a little bit in the tank for the last 150 meters. If someone comes up beside her like Niewiadoma was here on the 16% section, challenging her with 450 meters to go, getting close and then being forced round the outside, then she'll just up her pace a little bit to make sure they don't go past her. We saw the same last year with now teammate Demi Vollering challenging under Van der Breggen before the last couple of corners, but just like then, she rebuffed Niewiadoma at that point. We've got the last 300 meters. Van Vleuten and Longo Borghini were coming back to them a little bit as it leveled off, went back to a 10% section. It's going to kick back up again to 15% with 300 meters to go. Van der Breggen looking incredibly composed, but if there is one rider who could beat her in the Women's World Tour at the moment, it's Kasia Niewiadoma. She was the strongest on the Kouwberg on the weekend. Anna Van der Breggen accelerates in the last 250 meters, but Niewiadoma is going to go past her into the last left-hand bend, get right into her and force her round the outside of this bend and shoot her shot. Niewiadoma right here with just under 200 meters or 150 meters to go, but Anna Van der Breggen is able to respond. And here we go. Van der Breggen kept something back in the tank. The Olympic champ, the world champ, the 6-time winner of La Flèche Wallonne, dancing past Kasia Niewiadoma with 100 meters to go, and somehow she makes this climb look easy. Barely any expression on her face, and she had this sewn up with 75 meters to go. Checking behind, I'm not sure if she couldn't believe it or just because this was a more fractured Flèche Wallonne than we would see normally in the last 30 kilometers, but Anna Van der Breggen wins her 7th consecutive Flèche Wallonne ahead of Kasia Niewiadoma in a valiant second position, and Elisa Longo Borghini pipping Annemiek van Vleuten for 3rd. But frankly, the level under Van der Breggen is still out, still dominating races. I can't believe she's going to retire after this year. So we better enjoy every single race she participates in for the rest of this year, including the Olympic road race coming up and Liège-Bastogne-Liège on the weekend. But let's listen to what she had to say about the race and whether she actually even thought it was that difficult.
Well, Anna, yet another success for you on the Flèche Wallonne, but this one seemed extremely difficult, no?
Yeah, it was. Maybe it's mostly about the Mur in the end, but the race was hard from the beginning on. The pace was really high on all the climbs, and I think we also made some tactical mistakes in the race, so we needed to chase. But yeah, the team did really great to fix that.
Second best today, but perhaps Liège might suit her more. Let's hear from Kasia Niewiadoma about her Flèche Wallonne.
Well, I am happy. I'm happy to get on the podium. And yet I'm also I wouldn't call it disappointed, but of course I wanted to win. So like you always have those mixed feelings, although I know that Anna is just the master of this climb. She knows it so well, and she won it for the 7th time, so I guess that says it all.
But I hope you enjoyed this video. Like it down below if you did. We're going to see all these big names at Liège on the weekend. Thanks for all the support on the Amstel Gold Ladies highlight video. That's gone absolutely crazy. Over 100,000 views, more than the men's video. I can't believe it, but it's fantastic to see. So if you like this breakdown, maybe share it with a friend or leave a comment down below who you think is winning Liège on the weekend. But I'll see you then with my wrap-up video of that race, probably on Monday when you get to work. Ciao.